7,
Hey guys, this
6,
is John, and I'm playing the Ruy
5,
Lopez Bullet Arena
4,
on
3,
LeeChess.org.
2,
Alright, we've got
1,
31 runners to
0.
start. Tightest is the next highest rated player. A little bit weaker of a field than usual. These thematic tournaments don't seem to get the turnout that the normal ones do, but they're interesting to play. So it seems like the position that we're going to be playing is this one with the bishop already on c5. That's interesting. So let's see what 42nd does. I think I should probably defend this pawn on e5 for now. I'm going to drop this back just to see if we can get this nice cluster of 4 pawns like that when white inevitably takes. Let's keep the pin. I feel like g4 might be a bit risky for white. And I'm thinking about castling long and maybe trying to attack them. Like, let's play this. We're going to take with the queen, and I'm going to try to rip open this king side. Okay, white seems kind of stubborn. They don't want to trade. But I think this is risky. You see all these pawns they've moved around their king? So let's try to batter open the position and see how this goes. Maybe knight here now, looking to trade and then play h6. This looks like the best way to proceed. Wow, and white's going to make it crazy in the middle. Okay, let's keep going here. They can take e5, but I think with the amount of lines that are getting opened up right now, I'm liking my chances. So let's go here. This move's probably okay, because I feel like I'm going to get at h4 eventually. Let's go here. We'll just try to double up this way. Maybe they can play rook f2 over here, but I guess if rook f2, I take that, so that doesn't look good. Let's give it a check. Yeah, this is bad news, I think, for them. Let's give it a check here. We'll pull this back. Maybe they can somehow defend, but now I have this threat. Seems very tough. Okay, let's do this. Then I'm going to come here and try to get in. They can just take that, but I have this. And this is going to be mate. I thought for a second I hung my bishop, but that wasn't the case. All right, so we win the first game. Up to 46 players. Hello to everyone in chat. This is no competition for John, says Yippee-ki-yay. I don't know. You never know who will jump in here, so I'm not taking anything for granted. Enigma Hack is next. Okay, let's play knight f6. That might be a blunder, actually, but this move is definitely a blunder, what I just did. Because now I might lose a piece after d5. Okay, fortunately they didn't notice that. I'm still getting my bearings in this position. But yeah, d5 was possible. I would have had to play a6 then. I'm not quite sure if I lose a piece, but that's not what I intended to do out of the opening, let's say. So we'll have to remember that one. Okay, I guess I'm just going to play h6, useful move on this side of the board. Okay, now let's play a4. Maybe I can use this c5 square. I'm going to try to maneuver my knight there. So go like this and probably play knight c5. Wow, white's just opening the position. I mean, they might get a check on h7, but that's about it. I don't see anything else real good coming of this for white. Okay, now I can win a piece. Not quite, never mind. If my king was on h8, I'd be able to win this bishop by taking here. Okay, this is mate now, though. All right, so we get that checkmate. Back in the mix. Escobar, Elupini. Both have 4 points. What's up, Chinese boy 42? Okay, let's play c3 in this one against Labaron 2. And then we're going to go d4. This kind of reminds me of like a Joko piano if black takes here. Same position, except white's bishop is on b5 rather than c4. This looks pretty good because I think I'm going to have some nice center activity. Okay, let's just bank the pawn here. Maybe they can play b6 and try to get the bishop to a6, though. That would be a decent plan, but they're just going to play it this way. Okay, so we have an extra pawn, but black's structure probably gives them some compensation. So I'm going to try to harass this rook a little bit. They can play bishop f5 here, but they do not. That's a weird-looking situation. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And they just hung a piece after I hung a pawn, but maybe they missed that I could take with my queen on f3. I think they almost certainly overlooked that possibility. All right, so now we're going to be checkmating them. Back to tournament. How's it going, Anton? I was wondering if you were going to show up. He wants to see some fishing poles. He wants to see the fishing pole attack, which is black putting the bishop out on g4 or some piece on g4. It could be a knight as well. Let's berserk this and then castle against Chasen. That's a weird one. Okay, I'll take that. I don't see why not. And then we'll play d4. Not sure the knight on a5 is a great idea for black. All right, let's just develop. You know what? I'm going to play f4 and then take here if they take. They can play h6, but nope, he drops his queen. Okay, so now let's take this. I watched Eric Hansen's Hyper Bullet Berserking video today, and it's absolutely insane. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. Basically, he played a tournament where he, I think, berserked in his Hyper Bullet games, like every game but one. Just absolutely incredible. So go take a look at that. Playing with 15 seconds on the clock. All right, so Escobar's in second place. Ooh, and we got King's Crusher in. He is in the mix at 2606. That seems kind of high for King's Crusher. Not that he isn't capable of playing at a 2600 level, but he's usually lower than that. Usually like in the 2400s from what I've seen. Okay, Yippee-Ki-Yay is the next player. Let's castle. I honestly don't like these lines with the bishop out on c5. Maybe that's why I've been misplaying it from the black side. It somehow like makes me slightly uncomfortable, so I prefer my bishop on e7 in the Ruy Lopez. It's very interesting to play a bullet arena in such a positional opening, though. The Ruy Lopez has a reputation for being strategic and often kind of slow, so playing in a bullet arena is kind of interesting. I'm going to drop my bishop back here and take aim at h7. Let's go bishop g5. Might as well take a shot at that queen. And let's go here. Maybe I can induce a trade and use the f5 square. I think I would like that. Or maybe f4, f5 is an idea. So trying to get this in. They could play h6, but I think that results in a lost pawn, right? Maybe not quite. If I take, they have this f4 pawn is hanging. Okay, I'm going to take and then play queen g4 and try to take aim this way. If g5, I'll play f5. Okay, so let's just come here. Yeah, and I think this pawn is going to be hard to defend. So, yeah, black's just giving it up. Let's go here, looking to play this move. Okay, I think I'll just take it. Ooh, they had queen takes e5 there instead of blundering the bishop. That would have been much stronger. Let's just push. Could have taken d5 with check, too. But we will push. Okay, let's push again, check. Then we're going to swap the queens and play e6, and e7 is coming. That looks very bad for black. They have to play rook c7. I'm just going to push anyways because I can go here next move, and after the trade, my rook is coming into e8. Nothing that black can do about it. So we get that victory, 17 points. King's Crusher, he's berserking. He's coming on strong, though. We're probably going to get a game or two with him. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think I've seen King's Crusher play a Ruy Lopez before. Carl Bors, how's it going? All right, he's going to castle. Let's do this. I still wonder if this just loses a pawn. If they take on c6 and then take e5, but I can't really stop to figure that out. So we're just going with some normal move. Okay, if they play h3, I'm going to go bishop h5, and if g4, I'll play knight takes g4. I will sacrifice some material there. Let's play this first. See if they keep the pin or if they take on f6. If they play bishop h4, I'm going to do this. Yeah, because now sacrificing on g5 was not an option for them. This is uncomfortable. I don't think they like the pin here. If h3, I can take on f3 and then win the h3 pawn. So let's do this, and now we've got queen f6 coming. And all hands on deck to attack the poor knight on f3. This could get bad in a hurry for white, because they just can't escape this pin. They can't bring another defender to this knight too. So yeah, I'm going to do this. And now if I can just get my queen to h3, I'll be winning essentially. So I'm going to choose a little slow plan here. Maybe you can go bishop d to b3 to d1 to offer a trade. It's about the only viable solution I see. But I guess I can play... He's going to try to run with his king. Or do that, yeah. I'm going to come here. Maybe go for f5. Just try to add the rook down the f-file as an ingredient to this attack. Let's do this. Is queen h3 coming? Maybe. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to play this real practical and try to get this move in. Okay, let's take... He does have d4, though. But I guess the bishop is still trapped. Yeah, that was too many problems for white to solve from a bad position. A lot of those types of e4, e5 positions are determined by who gets the first pin in. With white playing bishop g5 and with black going bishop g4. You see that quite often. If you played chess at a scholastic level, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's play d6 this time. I'm going to take some care with my e5 pawn. Let's keep this pin. And let's go here. Just kind of mix this up a little bit. Go a6, kick that bishop. We'll go b5, why not? Okay, I might gear up for f5 later. I got to be careful about the timing of that move, though. Now they might play knight h4 or some such idea, so let's go f5 pretty quick here. Probably we're going to get a bunch of trades on this square. Ooh, and they dropped a knight. Semos 17. Okay, so we're up a full knight here. Let's just play h6. I'm going to go queen here just to stop any knight h4 business. I think I have time to do this and reposition my knight. Not much white can do. Now we're threatening this move. I can do this, I guess. Yeah, because wherever they go, I get to take the queen with check. And this is even mate. So, 25 points. Takeda is in second place. Did Takeda beat King's Crusher? Nope, they took a loss to Cristofo. Maybe King's Crusher was berserking. Looks like they've berserked every game so far. GM Chavez. Okay, let's just castle. Yeah, I guess if knight f6, take e5, maybe black can just take on e4. So that's probably a defense. But you got to be careful sometimes with the e-file opening up too soon as black in the Ruy Lopez if you haven't castled yet. So, okay, I'm liking this. We're taking over the center. Let's play d5, grab some space. Let's keep going here. Why not? I'm not going to recover this pawn quite yet. I'm just going to wait a moment. Now let's do it. So I have a slightly better pawn structure. Black's got this isolated d-pawn, so I like that aspect of my position. Let's try to hammer that pawn now. I'll bring the rook over and triple attack this guy. That's probably a good move. Okay, I guess I'm going to take and then just play queen e3. Maybe try to bring a rook over real quick. Attack that queen. Let's hunt the queen down. They might play bishop a7. Okay, so now at least black does not have the bishop pair. Knight d5 looks natural. Opening up the attack on the queen. Okay, let's drop the bishop back here. I like my position. I've got a very dominant knight in the center. Black might have to get rid of that by playing knight f4, so I think I'm going to try to rule that out. And then I'm going to try to chase this knight. I'm letting them take this pawn. I think like getting the rook into c7 is more than worth it. I've got a great initiative here if I keep this going, so... Okay, well, now I think we can do this. If they move the knight to f8, I have a check on e7. So yeah, they probably have to trade there. But now we get this check in, and we're coming in with queen g8 mate being possible. I think I can just play knight f5. I'm threatening queen takes g7, and I don't see a good defense for them. Because rook g8, we can just take it. So that's mate. If you get those two center pawns, the e and the d pawns, then I like white's chances rolling those pawns. I know there is one Ruy Lopez line where black can do that, but I think it's predicated on black playing a quick d5 to strike back. All right, we're going to berserk against It's Not Lupus. That's a reference to something or other. I don't know what it is, but... All right, we're up a piece. They neglected to recapture on c6. Okay, let's open the center. Ooh, we're up another piece all of a sudden. Let's take there. Okay. And then we'll just develop up the two pieces. Let's go here. Maybe they should have played for f5 instead, but all right, we're now up a lot of material. Let's just play c4, kind of cover the center. Play for f4. Let's bring the queen back, attack this pawn. Okay, we'll take and bring the rook over. Check. And just play bishop g5. Now after the trade, we get the rook, so this is a nice idea too. All right, and he resigned. Yeah, too much material. Black was playing too quickly, and after they lose c6, it's over. So, how's it going, Fred Trest? What's up with you? Phil Ivey, we have a poker superstar in the mix. Probably not the real Phil Ivey, but you never know. Bonobo, 24-34. That's quite a rating. I'm just going to play kind of passive here, honestly. Let's see what this does. Let's go knight ge7, and I'm just trying to defend the e5 pawn, basically, with my setup. Let's play a6. Let's bring the knight out through here now. So I'm reinforcing e5 considerably. Let's play queen here. I think maybe a future knight f4 is good. I might want to play rook ae8 first, just to get some presence down the file. Let's do this. He can take on b6. Let's do this, though. I like the f4 square. I like having that at my disposal. So let's jump in. Okay, I'm going to take. And then I'm going to come in here. Even though we get a queen swap, I'm attacking this and this. So, all right, let's take that. I think I can take here, even though they get some play. Because at the end of this line, I'm winning c3, so I guess they can take here, though, can't they? This is interesting. All right, I'm going to do this and try to get at that knight. So even material. I'm not sure who's better here. Probably white should bring up their king. He does. I'm a bit ahead on time, but not by much. Need to bring my king up a little bit, too. Let's play g5. Let's go here, just guard against any intrusion. Okay, let's get this pawn up to h4. I think that would be helpful. Let's play this. Maybe check on b2 if allowed. Okay, let's check here first. Okay, let's do this. I had rook c2. Rook c2 is probably a good idea. Let's do that. Let's give a check here. Okay, so now I'm liking the fact that I can try to win a bunch of these pawns. I'm a little worried about my king, though. Yeah, and that was not a good decision on my part. Okay. I'm hurting for play because I can't figure out what to do with my knight. Let's try to go after their rook. Whoops. Let's bring our rook in. All right. Well, I somehow won that in the time scramble. Yeah, almost lost that game. It almost became too difficult to play in time pressure. He was checking me around, and I lost that f5 pawn. But we recovered, fortunately. So I have 38 points. Takeda is next, 24-39. All right, so he's going to play this capture variation. Let's play f6. Why not? And then, I guess I'll take, then go here. I got to try to cover some of these light squares, though, so that's why I like the bishop here, so they can't come to b3 with their queen. I might win this pawn, but first let's try to blockade a little bit. Let's go here. It's a nasty pawn to defend, or nasty bishop to defend, I should say. And now if rook d3, okay, they're going to do it that way. Okay, this looks really good, though, doesn't it? Now I take here with tempo on the queen. I think rook d3 would have been better for them, but still very bad. Okay, let's just take this. Free pawn. Okay, take that. We get at the rook on a1. And quick loss for Takeda. Yeah, probably they played too aggressively in the center that time with d5. If I had taken twice on d5, then maybe white gets some play down the e file. But as played, that d5 pawn just ended up being weak. All right, Brantz is next. It's castle. And then we're going to try for a quick d4. Can I do that? I can't figure out whether I can do that or not, so I'm just going to play this. All right, let's just do this. I'm going to try for d4 soon enough, but I might need to prepare it. Okay, let's try this. This is going to be a little weird, but I think it might work out. Oh, he doesn't take it. Okay, let's go here. Okay, let's do this, see if we can get a swap and then go after this knight. But I guess he can just play knight ge7, though, after all is said and done, huh? Ooh, now we win the queen. Okay, that helps a lot. I'll try to open up the A file after this, so he just resigned. So, 47 points, 7 minutes and change remaining. How's it going? R4N dumb? Referendum. I get it. That's like a little intelligence test, isn't it? Churros a go-go, 2021. Okay, let's just do this. Now, this is the line that I was saying looks a lot like the Joko piano. And you know what? I think I might be able to take here. I'm going to try it. Even though this could run into problems down the E file, I think it's playable, so I'm going to do it. And we're going to have a few swaps. Okay, now... yeah, let's castle. I know they can play D5 against this, but I think I should play this way anyways. Probably D6 is what white should do. Otherwise, I'm going to play D6 next move, and I'll have a great structure plus an extra pawn. White is thinking. Okay, now I love my position. I think this position is already very, very promising for black. Okay, let's just take that. Then we can take here, guarding C7 as well. Let's play C6. White is obliged to play for the attack now because they're down 2 pawns with nothing to show for it. So, yeah, they're going to have to come at me here. Wouldn't be surprised if they sacked on D5. because this knight is a beast, that knight on d5. Okay, let's just prepare to double up. Bring this back a little bit. c8's covered by that rook, so no big deal. Ah, they have rook takes d5 here, though. They could have played that move. That would have been nifty. Oh, no, I would have defended. Take and then bring that other rook back. So no big deal. Okay, let's just play h6, something useful. I'm just going to offer a queen trade. Okay, happy to get the queens off. Let's bring this rook in. Attack b2. Go win that pawn. Just play a6. I'm going to come here and try to get knight check in. Check here. Now I think I can take f5 and then go check with the knight. Discovered attack on the rook here. So let's do that. Yeah, and white ran out of time. 51 points, 5 minutes remaining. I wasn't sure when I joined this, like, which Ruy Lopez position we were going to get. Because it just said Ruy Lopez bullet arena, so I thought it was just going to be the position after bishop b5 in the opening, but I guess not. Okay, let's do this. And then I'm going to play h3 and just see if I can get them to take. Okay, now I'm going to go g4. I know this is kind of risky, but I think in this position it's all right. Let's play king g2. Maybe knight h4. So he attacks in the center. Makes a lot of sense. Let's take. Maybe d4 would have been a good decision by black there. Okay, let's drop this back. I'm going to try to keep my light square bishop for the moment. Let's go here. Sneaky, sneaky attack. I'll take this way. Why not? He's got some light square weaknesses now. No doubt about that. Okay, let's come here. Maybe I can get my knight into the e6 square, I'm thinking. So let's... knight c4. Knight c4 is a good reply. That would have won a piece for black, I think. Okay, let's take that. And then I'm going to give a check. Because if queen h7, I think I can swap and then play knight e6, and I'm on this and this. So I believe this wins a pawn for me. So we can do that. Let's double up our rooks now. Let's go h4. Maybe go for g5. Seems like a decent plan. You're just going to let me take. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do this because now I'm threatening this move. So they can't really take on h4. Okay, this is looking really good. Now we can swap and get b7 in, and we're just going to win. Yeah, nothing to be done. Okay, so we win against Giraffic, 55 points. 111 players, wow. So we got up to quite a few players in this tournament. Hello to Samuel Haupt 3. How's it going? Hope you guys are getting through the week. Flashcards is next. 3 minutes remaining in this tournament. Probably 1 or 2 games left. 2 games, almost certainly. Okay, so this is the line where I get to take over the center. I like this. I like it a lot. And then we're just going to develop. Again, I'm not worried about getting that pawn back immediately. Probably now we should take it, though. Black really needs to work hard to complete their developments. This is bad. Double attack on the bishop. You have to go all the way back. Then we can do this. Yeah, they're just massively behind in development here is the problem. If we trade... Okay, let's go here. Try to get our dark square bishop involved again. Let's go here. Why not? Probably rook e8 is forced, huh? Let's go here. Discoveries on the black king. Just going to bring my pieces to the center. Maybe there's some way I can improve and play more aggressively on like the king side. But okay, now I'm going to swing my queen over. Maybe try for this. This looks really good if I can do it. h6 maybe should be played, but queen h6 is coming. I think I can take here. Yeah, now he ran into this move. But had he taken with the pawn, that might not have been so clear. I think checking here is most accurate. d5, I'll just take here now. And if pawn takes e5, I think rook takes is best. And now we've got discovered attacks galore. This is nearly mate, isn't it? Yeah. Bishop e6 would have to be played, and very, very bad for black. Okay, so a minute and a half left. We're playing Corksucker, 21-35, okay? They're gambiting a pawn in the center. I don't know about this line. All right, I guess I'll take that. I'm okay with playing an endgame if I'm up a pawn. This is like a Berlin defense with an extra pawn for black. A-okay, completely fine by me. Okay, let's keep our king in the center. Probably f6 soon. Actually, maybe come here. Why not? Let's just look to trade that knight. And then we'll bring our king up. We have a much, much better pawn structure. I can play g5 too and try to kick this knight away. Let's do that. Let's bring this over. They might play knight c5, but I think b6 just repels the knight. Okay, let's play the bishop here, attack this knight. And let's go here. This defends. Probably looking to play a5 soon. Yeah, a5 looks like a good idea. I'm just going to come up and try to win this pawn, basically. Okay, let's take this way. I'm going to go here. I'm not going to take that pawn yet because they want rook d7 if I do. So, all right, now we get to go into a winning endgame. Too many pass pawns that can be potentially created here. So let's just go and create one immediately. Okay, I'm going to do this, I guess. Go here. Yeah, white's just running out of moves. This pawn will promote. No stalemate tricks. Okay, back to tournament. And that is it. Okay. So thus concludes the Ruy Lopez Bullet Arena, or more accurately, the Ruy Lopez with bishop c5 already played for black. The so-called, I think it's the classical defense in the Ruy Lopez. So, hey, it's been a while since I've won like every single game in a Bullet Arena. And even though this is a thematic one, it had over 100 players and some pretty good players, so I'll take it. I don't think I played King's Crusher, did I? Just take a look at the list of players that I played. Some good players, yeah, like some 2400s and such, but didn't face King's Crusher. Moscow joined very late. They're 2700, but yeah, they joined like halfway through the event. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be back again soon with another one. Talk to you guys later. Bye.